Here in this video, we will do the question solving part from question number 4 to question number 14 in just few minutes of chapter 2, collection of data. Question number 4 says, what do you think of the following questions? Do you find any problem with these questions? Describe. So what will be the first question? The first question is, how far do you live from the closest market? So in case of this question, we find that there is ambiguity in what? In market, because here market is not clearly defined. And what is it, a grocery store? Like the market is a grocery store or a supermarket, so we don't know. So there lies the ambiguity in the market. And along with that, how far also has ambiguity. Why? Because here the distance is not defined properly. Is it in kilometers or is it in miles? It is not defined. So the more clearer question for this will be what? Approximately how minutes does it take to reach the nearest grocery store from your home? Or it can be as, how far is the grocery store from your home? So these two questions are the correct way of questioning. Then the next question is what? If plastic bags are only 5% of your garbage, should it be banned? So what is the answer here? Here what the question, what is the bias here? The question is leading biased in framing. So the question is framed in a way that it downplays the impact of only 5%. So which can cause bias in the responder's mind. Here in the C question, what we have, would not you be opposed to increase in price of petrol? So the answer here is, we find the question is awkwardly framed. Why? Because it has double negative phrases. There will be unreliable answers. The answers will provide unreliability from the respondents, as they will confuse with would not you be. So these phrases will confuse the respondents. It is also something leading, as it points towards negative answers. So here this is how the question is wrong here. Okay. Now, next question is what? D. Do you agree with the use of chemical fertilizers? Here the question is clear, but it is too broad. It does not have the exact context, like what kind of fertilizers for where it should be used, like it should be used in crop, or it should be the cost, or it should be the environment, or it should be the yield. So it is not contextual. So here what happens, the respondents may answer it differently. More context based question is required. Now the E question is what is the yield per hectare in your field? In this question, it is assumed that the respondent is a farmer. So the respondent is found, like it is assumed that he is a farmer. But what happens if he is a general person? So here the respondents can be confused, like how to answer it. So precise data is essential to answer this question. Here in this question 5, you want to do research on the popularity of vegetable art noodles among children. Design a suitable questionnaire for collecting the information. So the answer here, we will have to frame the questionnaire for vegetable art noodles. So the first question can be age groups in years. So here the age groups, the options can be under 10 years, 10 to 20 years, 20 to 30 years, 30 to 40 years, 40 years and above. And the next can be about the occupation. So the next question is occupation. So occupation, the option can be student, homemaker, working professional or others. The third question can be, have you heard of vegetable atta noodles? So it can be yes or in no. The fourth question can be, how often do you consume noodles? So here it can be daily, weekly, rarely or never. The fifth question can be, if you tried vegetable atta noodles, how do you rate it? So rating can be given. The options can be excellent, good, average or poor. The question number 6 says, in a village of 200 farms, a study was conducted to find the cropping pattern. Out of the 50 farms surveyed, 50% grew only wheat. What is the population and the sample size? So the answer to this question will be, population is what we know, it is the total size of the survey conducted. So the total size is the population. And here 200 farms are in the village. So total 200 farms. So the population is of the 200 farms in the village. And what is a sample? Sample, you know, it is a part or portion of the population. So 50 firms out of the total 200 firms is the sample for this question. Next question number 7, give 2 examples of sample, variable and population. So here we'll be giving the two examples. First one we will take the school survey, next one we will be taking the farmer survey. So population here is what all the students in a class we have taken, and variable here what we take, it's the marks of the students in the class securing in science subject. And what is the sample? 10 students chosen to answer questions in a survey. Next, the farmer survey example is what the population is all the farmers in location A if we take. Okay, and the variables are what? It is the types of crops that is grown in winter season. These are the variables. And sample is what? They are the 20 farmers we choose for answering questions in the survey. So this is the two examples provided for sample, variable and population. Question number 8 says, which of the following errors give better results and why? So here census and sample. So out of these, which gives better result and why? Error gives better result and why? The goal is to minimize. Answer is the goal is to minimize the error. So census has no sampling errors because it is collected for every individual. So in the population. So results are very accurate in theory. Non-sampling errors like mistake in data entry, non-responses, measurement issues can decrease accuracy. Sample survey has sampling errors as only part of the population is examined. Sample is well designed, the errors can be, if the samples are well designed, then what? The errors can be measurable and then can be controlled. Now question number 9, which of the following errors is more serious? So which error is more serious and why? Is it the sampling errors or the non-sampling errors? Non-sampling errors are more serious than the sampling errors. Why? Sampling errors takes place in portion of the population, only a small portion of the total population where sampling errors can take place, and so they can be measured and can also be controlled, while non-sampling errors are hard to detect and cannot be measured because they are for the huge population and they can take place in both sample and census, and hence they can produce biased results. Now question number 10 says, suppose there are 10 students in a class. You want to select 3 out of them. How many samples are possible? So here we can see that this is a combination problem. So how we will solve it out? You are choosing 3 out of 10 students. So that the number of samples possible is 10, 3. So we will do 10 factorial by 3 factorial into 10 minus 3 factorial. So when we elaborate it, what happens? It is 10 into 9 into 8 by 3 into 2 into 1, which is equal to 120. So hence there are 120 samples possible with the above combination. So here what we'll have to do, we'll have to solve the combination problem. Here, question number 11 says, discuss how will you use the lottery method to select 3 students out of 10 students in your class. The answer to this question will be lottery method is, we know it is the simple random sampling method. So this is important. Lottery method is the simple random sampling method, and in this technique every student gets equal chances to be selected. So for this what we will do, we will write 3 numbers on each same sized paper. Okay, fold it in the same way so that the numbers are not visible, and we will take all 10 papers and we will fold all of it in the same way. So we will keep all the 10 folded papers with and without the numbers all together in a bowl. Mix well all the papers so no one can save. Then ask every student to pick up the papers. Now the ones having the numbers are selected. So only the students who has the numbers on the papers written, they are selected. So only 3 students with the numbers written on the papers are selected out of the 10 students. But here everyone gets the chance. So here why the lottery method is used. Now question 12 says, does the lottery method always give you a random sample? Why? Lottery method can produce random sample if there is correctness in the processes undertaken. Selection is done blindly, so everyone gets a chance and is fairly done. Each student gets the equal chance. So lottery method always give you a random sample. Next question, question number 13. Explain the procedure for selecting a random sample of 3 students out of 10 in your class by using the random number table. So what are the processes? Here first what we do, assign unique identifiers. So we will list all the 10 students in a class. Assign every student with the unique 2-digit number from 0 to 01 to 10. Then we open the random table. Numbers. Choose any point to a specific column or a row for starting number. Read the digits in pairs. Move across the row or down the column. Select the first three unique pairs that falls between 0, 1 and 10. Avoid numbers that is greater than 10 and avoid repetition of any numbers. The three unique pairs with the corresponding student's name will be selected for the sample survey. Now we give an example of this. Now suppose we read the following two-digit numbers. So what are the digits? They can be 1, 2, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 8, 0, 9, 1, 0 and 8, 7. So out of these what we keep? We keep only the numbers that lies between 0, 1 and 1, 0. So what is it? It is 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 8, 0, 9 and 10, and all the names corresponding to these two-digit number students' names will be selected. Now the last question is, what do samples provide better results than survey? Give reasons. So what we know, a population is studied using the census method or the sample method. What is a census? Census is the study of every individual of the population, and a sample study is what? It is only the part or portion of the population. So because census is done in the like every population or every individual is like studied for the survey, so it is obviously better than the sample method.